So as you can see, I used the Attapoll app and I made $3.52. I cashed out. Then I did, cash out into my PayPal, of course. And then I'm transferring over to one of my bank accounts. That way I can transfer it over to my Robinhood account, which is a way I can, invest in stocks without, working long hours or, putting my paycheck into the stock market. Because some people look at, investing in stocks as gambling. So this is a way you can invest with very little risk, because you're not risking your savings. Now, I made a video before about mentioning the idea of putting your money into a high yield savings account and, to build interest, right? To make money from saving your money, or put into a CD. I personally use CDs, and, every month I'll get interest payout. And, I wanted to add it to more than $1. So that way I can obviously transfer that over to my PayPal. My Robinhood account, and then invest in stocks, specifically dividend stocks. I do invest in other stocks that ain't dividend, but I do invest in dividend stocks. Like I click on Apple, for example. This should be a dividend stock. Yep. So the yield is less than 1%. Obviously, you want to find some that are 1% or more. But I like the Apple company, so I invest in it. Let's see how much did I put in so far. Alright. So far, I started off with $5. Then I put in 3. You see, I got a dividend of 9 cents. Then I put another 20, so 75 so far. 75, which means I'm 25 away from having 100 invested into Apple stock. So I definitely should bump that up. Get that up to 100 invested. Like, that's one of my goals, is to put 100 into each stock, especially fractional stocks, or at least get one share. You see how I got one share of Tesla, I got one share of Ford. Apple's 130 right now for one share, and you see I'm a little over 50%. So if I put more, I can get up to one share. So that'd be nice, because I would like to see one share on all these stocks. As you can see, all these are less than a share. Only because, whenever I have some money to, like $10 or something like that, to put into a stock, I put it in. But I can put in as little as $1. If I'm right, let's see, where's the one that I put $1 into? Here we go. X Air. Beyond Air, that's what's called, Beyond Air. Let me scroll down here, and you see I only put in $1 last year. And of course I should put more, because it's only roughly $5 a share, so I might as well put in, $4 more, right? Which, ironically, that $3.52, being transferred, so I'm waiting for the transfer to go through, so that way I can invest it. So I could put it into here. Let's see if this has dividend. Nope, no dividend yield. I could still invest just because, good company. I definitely like investing in companies that are working on future, technologies like solar power, medicine, of course, electric cars, electric anything, renewable energy sources, green companies, as they call it. Things that are trying to make the world a better place. Health, I got Platinum Fitness, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson. A little disappointing, Johnson & Johnson's vaccine. They need to fix that. Beyond Meat, synthesized food and stuff like that, which is good, because, it's better that we find a way to. There's no dividend, but it is a company I believe in. I do like the idea of food that we can mass produce, so that way everybody can eat, right? So we can feed everybody, but at the same time not having to slaughter and treat living organisms as if they are products or ingredients for a Happy Meal, as it were. Yes, I'm invested in McDonald's. I'm invested in real estate through Vanguard US REITs fund, which is real estate investments. So I invested in that. How much did I put in there? I like the fact that it does show me how much I put in there. So 280. So I should throw in another 20, so I could be a full, even 200. So I'll try to keep that in mind. Put a extra 20 bucks in there. And this has dividend, right? Should, yeah. You see, the dividend yield here, you see, is 2.9. So clearly, I definitely would recommend this. Good stock to go into, especially for dividends. And as you can see, I own 3.66 shares, so it's the one that I own the most. Horizon, I own 1.2 shares. I own one shares of Bank of America, which is the BAC. 1 share of Tesla and 1 share of Ford. But everything else is just, fractions of a share. I'm also in cryptocurrency. Go down here, I got some Bitcoins. I got fractions of Bitcoins. I got 30 Dogecoins. I got them when they were like 25 cents each. So I put about $9 to $10 into scooping up those 30 Doge. As you can see, they at least doubled in value, so I doubled my investment at least, which is always good to double your investment, right? If you have $1 million and you turn $1 million into $2 million, that's awesome, right? It'd be nice to go higher than that, but just doubling your money is better than nothing. That should always be the goal, is to double whatever you put in. Being able to 10x everything, would be awesome, but don't have to go that far. You're more guaranteed to double your money than you are to 10x your money or triple your money, right? So I go with that basic concept. I go with the quantity over quality. I'd rather have a whole bunch of stocks that's generating me money than to have one stock hoping that it goes to the moon, right? It goes to a point where like, oh, I made $1 million off of this one stock, because that's more luck based than actual strategy. I'd rather make $1 million in a couple of years, or in 1 year, for example, than to try to make $1 million one time off of one investment. So this is more the safer route, and there's also the whole don't put all your eggs in one basket. You see, I have all these stocks. Lots of stocks here that I have. So you definitely want to go with that category, because you see a lot of these are green. You see some of these are red. That means the reds obviously means they dropped in value, but the greens means they went up in value. So you see a lot of greens, and that's good because the greens obviously outnumbered the reds, which is what you want. You want more green, less red. So the more stocks you invest in, the more, especially if you do your research and you look into the companies that you're investing in, the better the companies are doing, the better the stock is, obviously. So that way you can make up for any of your stocks that are going down, because you can have stocks go up and down, right? So you want to make sure you have stocks that offset other stocks. So if you invest into one stock, it's like, oh, this is a really good stock. All right, make sure you invest into another stock, to balance it off. A stock that you see that is decent, and then see how that works out. One will, take care of the other. Like, for example, instead of just investing in like Apple and Microsoft. So you see, I got Apple and I also got Microsoft. So I got invest. So I'm invested in Apple and Microsoft. So if one company is doing better than the other, hey, I'm winning. It's like, imagine betting on a football game, right? You have two teams. Instead of betting on one team to beat the other one, just bet on both. Because whichever one wins, you win, right? Especially if you made it where when whichever team wins, when you get your little payout, right, from betting, that it makes up for the investment you put into the other bet, right? So if you bet 10 on one team and 10 on another team, you want, when one of the teams win, you make about like $30, right? You win $30. That way, you get your initial $10 investment, plus get your extra $10, plus the extra $10 to make up for the fact that you bet on the other team. You want to get that $10 back because remember you bet $20, and then your profit, which is the extra $10. So a scenario like that. So that's the way I think, is that I want to make sure that I win. The best way to put it, that I win. Why choose a side when I can have both, right? And that's the thing with stock markets is, you can invest in both, companies. Like I have Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson. I didn't choose one or the other. I invested in both, Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson, and they were, working on vaccines. Pfizer, just so happens to have the better vaccine currently, but either way, I invested in both. Ironically, if you look at it, Johnson & Johnson stock cost, it's worth more than Pfizer's stock, but that could always change at any given point. And of course, you can see I own a little bit more shares in Pfizer than I do in Johnson & Johnson, so that lets you know which one I'm a fan of. But either way, we'll see whichever one rises the most. But ultimately, for me, it's not about the individual stocks themselves, growing in value. It's more of, especially since I like the dividend stocks strategy, it's more about, being able to generate recurring income, basically making my money make money. So that's where I do the whole CD account thing, put my money into a CD account so it makes money, and then take the profit, right, the interest money, and then invest it and go into the stocks, into dividend stocks, which will make me, money from, just by having the stocks, I'll make money. Then I can use that money to buy more stocks, preferably dividend stocks, of course, so that way the new dividend stock can also give me money, so that way I will have multiple stocks giving me money, which can in turn allow me to buy more stocks, especially more stocks of the stocks that I already have, especially if the dividend yield is good. Like, for example, the REITs fund, it's over 2% dividend, right? Which means it'd be a good idea of me keep putting more and more money into that. So if my other dividend stocks, produce out a couple dollars here and there, then I can put those dollars over into the REITs investment, the Vanguard REITs, and then it would generate more and more, which can let me get more dividends stocks that can generate, and try to get to a certain point where you're making 100 a month, 200, 1,000, that kind of stuff, and then you just keep investing in certain stocks that are definitely paying you a good lump sum, so that we have multiple streams of income, and go from there, right? Especially if you set it up where you have all these little dividend stocks paying out, $10 here and there every month, and you're using it to pump it into some bigger stocks, especially stocks that you see are growing. So not only are you getting dividends, right, but you're also the value of the stock is going up, so your money's multiplying there. You want two things to happen. You want the stock price to go up, so that way one day if you decide you want to sell your stock, at least it's worth more than you originally paid for, right? So you want your money, your investment to grow, but you also want money in the meantime, right? So you want to reap the rewards, as they say, right? Reap the rewards of investments. So that's where the dividends come in, and you can use that to invest into more dividend stocks, which can generate you more money to a point where if you're getting like $1,000 a month into your account from dividends alone, then you can make decisions, right? You can cash out some of half of that into your bank account so you can live off of it, or all of it, since you can keep generating more, or go and invest in some other stocks that might not pay dividends, but you see the potential of the stock itself growing, and this lets you invest and be involved in investing in the stock market with very little risk, because of the fact that you're using money that you made from money, then you use that money to make more money, then use that money to make more money, and use that money to make more money. You see what I'm getting at. You started off with like $1 from interest rate, from your CD interest, for example, or in this situation, it was the survey app, the Attapoll app, where I made $3.52, and now I'm gonna put that into the stock market and let that grow. So think of like every dollar, like from your interest, or from the app, from the survey app, or just from your dividends. Think of them as seeds, like like apple tree seeds, and then you're just gonna start planting these seeds and start growing all these money trees. Basically money seeds, right? So you take all these dollars here and there and invest. What's so awesome and makes this possible is the fact that Robinhood and many other platforms have what's called fractional share. Because you notice Tesla is, not Tesla, I won't use Tesla, the one I always use, Amazon. You see Amazon is over $3,000 just for one share. Just for one share. If it wasn't for the fact that they allow me to put in, $5, $10, $20 into Amazon, I wouldn't be able to invest in Amazon, because the minimum I would need would be $3,000, right? Minimum $3,289 just to get one share, just to invest. But I don't have over $3,000, to spare that I want to throw in there, and that could be a risk. What if it goes from from 3,000 plus, right, and drastically drops down to like $1,000? Then that means I would have lost over $2,000 all in one shot. It would be better for me to diversify, right, and invest in a whole bunch of different cheaper stocks, hoping that they go up, so that way I'm doubling my money, or tripling, quadrupling, 10xing my money. Or if they go down, not that big of a loss. I lost $10 here, $20 there. Okay, they're small amounts. It's better than losing $2,000 all in one shot, right? So that's where the fractional investing comes in, because I could put $5 into a company that's very popular, making a lot of money, like Amazon, and if their stocks go up, bang, my $5 turns into $10 or $15. And if I want to sell it, like I'll sell that share, bang, I made $10 profit off of my $5 investment. But if the value doesn't go up and it goes down instead, well, okay, I lost $5. $5 is not that big of a deal to lose than $5,000, right? Like $500, $5,000 would be harder to lose than $5. $5 is like, not a big deal. I could always replace that $5. But replacing 500 for 5,000, that'd be a lot harder. So that's why the fractional share is so awesome. That with very little money, you can invest in companies and be able to multiply your small income, your small money, your small investments, and go beyond, right? Because I started this account with just $5 and I'm already over 1,800. So clearly I've been doing good, and definitely waiting for more dividends to come in. Right now I got 42 cents. You see my buying power is 42 cents. That's some leftover dividends, leftover from the dividends that I got, because obviously I reinvest my dividends, making my money make money, since I got that money for free, as they say, right? Why not put it back into the company that gave me the money in the first place, right? And let it keep building the value, and then eventually, start making plans of like which stocks to invest in, and go from there. Something simple, easy to do, and something you should consider doing yourself. And that's the end of the video.